Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man's here, but where is Kilt-Man? Well, some of you in the past will have seen a video I did from this very location. Yes, it is the library in Kilt-Mansion. Well, actually, it's one of two libraries in Kilt-Mansion, but it's perhaps the better one. Now, where you guys are right now is IKEA shelves. Shite, aren't they? And they're full, absolutely jam-packed with thousands and thousands of Blu-rays and DVDs and a few knickknacks and Hellboy comic books down there, Art of Lord of the Rings, all the Lord of the Rings movies, and a load of books. But and then you got on these fantastic, old school shelves, you've got a vast array of literature. But the reason why I've suddenly leapt into here is because, like, if you've been keeping up with a lot of these videos, you'll know that during lockdown we have begun to transform the place, reclaim lots of rooms and zones and areas which were hitherto, uncharted, and stuff that was just basically full with crap. I'm a collector, as you know, and a hoarder, so there's tons of props and costumes and masks and magazines and books, just loads and loads and loads of things. And this room was piled up because it just became a bit of a dumping ground. As you can see, I'll show you now. Look, you just open that door and you held stuff in. Hey, yes, streaming sunlight. But I'm in the lovely rocking chair. If you look upwards, camouflage netting, dream catchers. There is this lamp over here, which is the shape of some kind of weeping pond life or something. We have tree stumps as well, if you can see that down there. I don't know if you're making any of this out, but there's tree stumps down there, and there's one down the other end as well. And the idea always was that this was going to be some kind of hidden fairy tale glen, almost like a hobbit hole from the Shire, from Hobbiton. And I wanted like a circular hole cut in that door so you could come through into like a hobbit hole, and you'd sit here in your rocking chair. There'd be leaves, and because it's all twigs and leaves inside that camouflage netting, and the idea was like if you got like a fan blowing, you'd hear the faint susurration of the leaves and twigs rustling in the camouflage netting, and then you might get a leaf come fluttering down as you're reading your book in your rocking chair in your little fairy tale glen. But that clearly hasn't happened quite, as I wanted it to. But, it's a work in progress. Over yonder is a Mad Max jacket, sporting the shoulder plate from Mad Max 2. There is a Bane vest as well. There's still remnants of stuff which shouldn't be in this room. But why I'm here right now is because I did that video on the sad passing of John Saxon. And I mentioned about his performance in Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, how he became very close friends with Bruce Lee, and how he trained. He had a black belt in karate. He was also a renowned archer as well. So when you see him performing his stunts and his fights in Enter the Dragon, he's doing it for real because he could do it. And the other guy whose name I forgot to, I couldn't remember his name, Jim Kelly. Oh God, how the hell I forgot that? I don't believe it. But and he sadly meets his end at the metallic hands of Mr. Han, who takes him down and then strings his body up. Oh, grim stuff indeed. But because I was discussing that, a few people were getting on to me saying, I didn't know he could do all that sort of martial arts stuff. And I said, well, I've never really covered Enter the Dragon, and it's a great favourite of mine. Perhaps my favourite martial arts movie of all time. It is for many people, quite clearly. It's a great showcase for Bruce Lee, the tragic Bruce Lee. But also, it's probably the most wonderful showcase as well for John Saxon. He has wit, guile, charm. He has a James Bond style quip. He's a womanizer. He's a chancer, and he's a bona fide action star. He never got to extol all these virtues in any of his other movies, but he did in that. So people are asking, oh, I didn't know that. And then remembered that somewhere up here I have a great book on the making of Enter the Dragon. It's here, folks. Look, it's Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee. The making of Enter the Dragon. The Never Before Told Story by Robert Clouse. Robert Clouse, who directed Enter the Dragon. And this, sadly, all the pictures are black and white, but they are vast and varied and intricate and wonderful. But let's have a little look, because I wanted to show you. And of course, now I won't be able to find. Oh, isn't that that's one of the great pictures there. Oh, it's awesome. When I was a kid, even before I knew who Bruce Lee was, and I'd be about 4 or 5, 6, I had great posters of Bruce Lee on my bedroom wall. Why? I don't know. I just knew this guy was awesome. Oh, God, I'm trying to find pictures of him training with John Saxon. Now, this would have been ideal to have Bolo. Of course, that is the guy who kills all of Mr. Hand's useless guards as a show of force and also intimidation to everybody else there. There's John Saxon being hoisted aloft by Bolo. And John Saxon, as Mr. Roper, will defeat Bolo. Oh God, where are the pictures of him training? Oh, I could have just put bookmarks in. I could. Oh yeah. Well, is that John Saxon just training, or is he just doing a John Cleese silly walk down the street? You decide. But there's pictures here of him lifting weights and everything. Ah, why can't I find these bloody pictures now? And he and Jim Kelly, John Saxon and Jim Kelly, became very, very close friends with Bruce Lee. And their families would stay together and they'd eat and dine out together. John Saxon, Bruce Lee, who is of course Mr. Lee. I'm saying nothing about stereotyping, and I'm gonna have to just chew the fat and kill time till I find these effing pictures. There's someone broken in and removed the pages from this book. Okay. John Saxon lifting weights, and that is in Bruce Lee's gym. The two of them would work out. There are other pictures of the two of them working out and trying moves here. John Saxon, Bruce Lee. They're trying out different techniques, what would work, what wouldn't work. Obviously, Bruce Lee was a practitioner of Jeet Kune Do, which is what he created. Variations of, Taekwondo, which is what I did. Karate, Kung Fu, Wing Chun, and here they are, actually had a bit of a laugh and a joke together. Can you see this? They're just sitting there nice and calmly there, and then all of a sudden, well, if I came to you like this, what would you do here? How would you get out of this grip? And it is wonderful. A terrific movie, and some of the best martial arts you're going to see choreographed. Now, it is true that on set, because, well, you know the story. It's on Han's Fortress Island, and he's a complete and utter nefarious Fu Manchu bad boy, and it gets infiltrated by Bruce Lee, who also wants revenge on the death of his sister, and at the hands of Mr. Han's right hand man. But also other guys are there, and it's a staged world championship sort of competition between all the world's martial artists, the best there. So of course a lot of the extras were extremely good martial artists. In fact, they probably all were. So on set, day in, day out, they'd be issuing challenges to Bruce Lee all the time. When he was filming certain bits, they'd be sitting on walls or watching and jeering at him. So occasionally he'd have to all right, look, I'm gonna have to show something off here. So he would, he'd engage in a bit of sparring with somebody, and invariably he'd take them down good style. But he had to be very careful of doing that, because you don't want to injure your stuntmen and your fellow extras and all that. But you've got to keep your reputation going as well, And there's a nice little anecdote here, which you can bet your ass I will not be able to find now. Oh God. And it's from the guy that played Bolo. Yeah, Bolo was played by Young Z. There he is there, Young Z. Very muscular, very intimidating. Actually a very nice guy as well. Like, and you'll find that a lot with you know, screen toughs, people who have trained to look hard, look aggressive, and then done a lot of extensive martial arts. That when they're actually, you know, the cameras stop rolling, they're the nicest guys on the planet. Whereas on screen they've just killed an entire family, you know, and broke all their backs and took all their teeth out. Anyway, this is a reminiscence from Young Z, who plays Bolo there. He had a gym that had, this is about Bruce Lee. He had a gym that had all kinds of equipment and boxing speedballs. Young added, one was as small as a ping pong ball. One day I went to his house and his wife told me to go upstairs because Bruce isn't here at the moment. I'll be up in a minute. No, I'm adding my own bits there. That's not a direct quote. I couldn't believe what I saw. I dared not enter until he opened the door to call me in. Bruce was sitting behind his desk with a wired ring around his head. My first thought was that he must be Chijo Sin, crossed wires or mentally ill. And he said, this is what Bruce said. I am training my nervous system. Sounds like Chris Eubank then. I am training my nervous system to transmit reactions faster. It is for San Sao Mang sheet, agile mind and hands. Your eye sees someone make a move towards you, and your eye nerve directs your brain's central nervous system, and your brain's nervous system directs your hand or arm or foot to block or kick or strike. This takes time. Too much time. I wanted to train to have it happen faster. So he explains about how he does it and the electrical impulses and the electric shocks that he was doing. What to do? You must want to sleep. You must get yourself into a condition that is equivalent of sleep even when you are sparring or fighting. In other words, constant awareness. See, like Bruce Lee, and I've got another book on Bruce Lee somewhere. Oh yeah, that was convenient. It's right there. And about the way that he trained mind and body to work as one unit. And of course that's the idea. And of course, what embodies all that? The spirit, the fighting spirit, the spirit path, and the fighting essence. It's all combined, peace and harmony. You don't have total aggression and all-out battle fighting skills without an element of peace and inner harmony and tranquility. The two have to marry up. Yeah. Thank you. I've got a class out there who are waiting for me to start sparring again, you know, with the ping pong balls I've got set up hanging from wires. In actual fact, I'm having a bit of a lunch break from working from home. Yeah. It's far more fun doing this kind of shit though, isn't it? Let's be honest. So, that's a great book there. Bit of a vintage book. It may have been reproduced, I don't know. But speaking of vintage things, and things that we've been finding a lot as well. By the way, I'll just show you, I'll just run along this because here we go. Here's just a little smorgasbord of movies. Now, I did not... Look at that! Who knew? Look at this, look at this, look at this. Movies. I did not put them like this. They were in massive disarray. And this is only one of many selections of movies because they're in every room, stacked up, well, not as neatly as that, but stacked up. But Mrs. Kilt-Man, put all your movies in order. I mean, what? What do you mean order? Well, I'll just put the bigger ones at the back and the smaller ones at the front. She means the DVDs are at the back and the Blu-rays are at the front. Yeah, I was going to say, don't put them in alphabetical order. I can't stand that kind of thing. Because part of me, although with my extreme fighting abilities and prowess, agility, and complete kill mindset, the offside of that is disarray and disharmony. Because I don't like things in order. I like things to be chaotic. Yeah, what was I going to show you? Who remembers this magazine? Well, it's still going. Starburst. Yeah. Since I was a kid, I collected Starburst magazine because you didn't have the internet. That was your way into movies. That's what Hollywood was bringing out. This is what fantasy, science fiction, and horror. This is what was coming on the horizon. They'd have coming soons. They'd have reviews. They'd have interviews. Oh, great stuff. Sometimes posters. But look at this one. And I just found this. I vaguely remember getting hold of it, but Volume 1, Issue 1, or Volume 1, Number 1, price 50p, seems about accurate, because this, and Star Wars was the big thing. Now, this magazine was printed in January 1978. Now, is that a reproduction? Because I never kept my original issue of it. I'm pretty certain I never got the first issue. The first issue I got of Starburst had Close Encounters emblazoned all over it, if I remember rightly. And I don't know where that is, that issue. But I've obviously since found a copy. But it's in astonishingly good nick. You know, I thought something smelled bad in here. But, so, I don't know. Is it genuine? I mean, it feels genuine. It doesn't feel like reproduction. If you look at the, I mean, you've got the glossy pages, but they're old style, you know, quality paper. And the actual normal print pages are very, very old and yellowing. So maybe this genuinely is. I'm not saying it's worth anything. I'm not saying that. It's probably worth more than 50p though, to the right collector. And look at this thing, because they call it Things to Come. And what was on the horizon? The Incredible Melting Man. Oh, on that topic. Oh, come on, Kilt-Man, come on, you can find it. The novelisation of The Incredible Melting Man. He is a human time bomb. Not really. And there were two versions of that book. One had that cover, which I got, and the other one had on the front cover these pictures, all arranged, you know, which was kind of gruesome and a little bit OTT for a book jacket. What else did we got in here? There's a slight bit of artwork from Star Wars on the back there. Everyone's favourite droids. A bit of Star Trek stuff going on. Classic Star Trek. Cartoon strips. Oh look, here you are again. Obviously Star Wars was, you know, must have been quite popular during the late 70s. There's one of the classic images. There you go. What always got me about this was like that laser beam just stops from, you know, from the TIE fighter. It just stops there. I never understood that on that picture. It always looked stupid to me. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff there. Oh, there he is. Peter Cushing. Another comic strip. Now, I've got thousands of copies of Starburst, Fangoria, Starlog. Some from the early days of collecting, but a lot I had to rebuy, search out and find them all over again because, you know, moving houses and stuff like that. Growing up and encountering the real world, you know, suddenly all these comics and magazines had no place. And boy, do I regret that now. I mean, I'm lucky that I managed to collect and keep a lot of my stuff, as you've seen. But things like that, I've obviously found that again. And I'm now thinking that that is an original copy because that paper, that really is, you know, that's how it is. Just seeing something else which was really good, and sadly it needs a bit of repairs done. Look at this. This lit up, this spoke, it ordered you around, it threatened you, you know, did all sorts. All the bits and bobs are around here, but they've all broken off. Oh damn. But oh. So folks, there you go. This was just a little sort of, you know, oh, it's my lunch. But yeah, just wanted to show you that the things are developing here. So what you might get is that this might be another filming location once in a while. When the sunlight isn't streaming through the window, set the camera up just over here and I'll sit and I'll in my rocking chair like Val Doonican and I might just croon to you. Or I might even read you something. I don't know. I don't know. Ideas are welcome though. Please, you know, let me know. Because I like to have various different studios, for lack of a better phrase. And let's be honest, we've got quite a few. I do some outdoor broadcasts too. But oh look, there's a husky dog arriving. Come on in, hon. Come on, come on. Oh look, see. Hey, there you go. A guest appearance from the thing. There you are. You see. Get off my whiskey. Get off it. I warned you about that. You know what it does to you. We end up fighting all the time. Oh, God. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Should I use this as another location? I mean, you've got the conservatory, you've got the attic, which I really haven't utilised as yet. And you've got, well, Kilty's Tavern. You've got the big bar room. Oh, yeah, I like that one. That's a firm favourite. But yeah, there's loads of great things to show you. As I say, there's another library, but um, we're not going to go into that one. We're not, because that's going to have to stay kind of sacred, really. But this, because because they're naughty books. I wish. Now they are here somewhere, but I see Mrs. Kilt-Man's tidied up, so what she's done with them, God only knows. That's the horrible moment. You come in and she goes, "Oh, I've tidied that room up," and you go, "What room?" "Oh, that room with all your stuff in." And you go, "Oh, I've been through everything." And you go, "Mm, what?" And you haven't changed the locks. So, folks, there you go. Just a little sort of tour around, and a bit more, a bit of an addition to the whole John Saxon thing, because yeah, what a great guy, and another loss that we've sustained, and sadly there will be many more. We know that. So, folks, in the meantime, and indeed that grey hinterland known as the in-between time, please take it easy, be happy, be healthy, keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. This is not the library you were looking for, and I'm going to see you all